Hi, this is part 3 of chapter 1 of The Old Curiosity Shop by Charles Dickens, and the last sentence I read in part 2 was with his mouth wide open and his eyes nearly shut, laughing violently. Now I shall start the new bit. Okay. The old man had again relapsed into his former abstraction, and took no notice of what passed, but I remarked that when her laugh was over, the child's bright eyes were dimmed with tears called forth by the fullness of heart at which she had welcomed her uncouth favourite after the little anxiety of the night. As for Kit himself, whose laugh had been all the time one of that short which every little would change into a cry, he carried a large slice of bread and meat and a mug of beer into a corner and applied himself to disposing of them with great voracity. "Ah," said the man, turning to me with a sigh as if I had spoken to him but at that moment, "you don't know what you say when you tell me that I don't consider her." "You must not attach too great weight to a remark founded on first appearances, my friend," said I. "No," returned the man thoughtfully. "No. Come hither, Nell." The little girl hastened from her seat, and put her arm about his neck. "Do I love thee, Nell?" said he. "Say, do I love thee, Nell, or no?" The child only answered by her caresses, and laid her head upon his breast. Why dost thou sob?" said the grandfather, pressing her closer to him and glancing towards me. "Is it because you knowest that I love thee, and dost not like that I should seem to doubt it by my question? Well, let us say I love thee dearly." "Indeed you do," replied the child with great earnestness. "Kit knows you do. Kit, who in dispatching his bread and meat had been swallowing 2/3 of his knife at every mouthful with the coolness of a juggler, stopped short in his operations on being thus appealed to, and bawled, 'Nobody isn't such a fool as to say he doesn't,' after which he incapacitated himself for further conversation by taking a most prodigious sandwich at one bite. "She is poor now," said the old man, patting the child's cheek, "but I say again the time is coming when she shall be rich. It has been a long time coming, but it must come at last. A very long time, but it surely must come. It has come to other men who do nothing but waste and riot. When will it come to me? I am very happy as I am, grandfather," said the child. "Tush, tush," returned the old man. "Thou dost not know how shouldst thou?" Then he muttered again between his teeth, "The time must come, I am very sure it must. It will be able all the better for coming late." And then he sighed and fell into his former musing state, and still holding the child between his knees, appeared to be insensible to everything around him. By this time it wanted but a few minutes of midnight, and I rose to go, which recalled him to himself. "One moment, sir," he said. "Now, Kit, near midnight, boy, are you still here? Go home, get home, and be true to your time in the morning, for there's work to do. Good night, there. Bid him good night now, and let him be gone." "Good night, Kit," said the child, her eyes lighting up with the merriment and kindness. "Good night, Miss Nell," returned the boy, "and thank this gentleman," interposed the old man, "but for whose care I might have lost my little girl tonight." "No, no, master," said Kit, "that won't do, that won't." "What do you mean?" cried the old man. "I'd have found her, master," said Kit. "I'd have found her. I bet I'd find her as if she was above ground. I would, as quick as anybody, master. Ha, ha, ha!" Once more opening his mouth and shutting his eyes, and laughing like a stentor, Kit gradually backed to the door and wrought himself out. Free of the room, the boy was not slow in taking his departure, When he had gone and the child was occupied in clearing the table, the old man said, "I haven't seemed to thank you, sir, enough for what you've done tonight, but I do thank you, humbly and heartily, and so does she, and her thanks are better worth than mine. I should be sorry that you went away and thought I was unmindful of your goodness, or careless of her. I'm not, indeed. I was sure of that," I said, from what I had seen. "But," I added, "may I ask you a question?" "Aye, sir," replied the old man, "what is it?" "This delicate child," said I, "with so much beauty and intelligence, has she nobody to care for her but you? Has she no other companion or adviser?" "No," he returned, looking anxiously into my face, "no, she wants no other." "But you are not fearful," said I, "that you may misunderstand a charge so tender? I am sure you mean well, but are you quite certain that you know how to execute such a trust as this? I am an old man like you, and I am actuated by an old man's concern in all that is young and promising. Do you not think that what I have seen of you and this little creature tonight must have an interest not wholly free from pain?" "Sir," rejoined the old man after a moment's silence, "I have no right to feel hurt at what you say. It is true that in many respects I am the child and she is the grown person that you have seen already, but waking or sleeping, by night or day, in sickness or health, she is the one object of my care, and if you knew how much care, you would look on me with different eyes, you would indeed. Ah, it's a weary life for an old man. A weary, weary life. But there is a great end to gain, and that I keep before me." Seeing that he was in a state of excitement and impatience, I turned to put on an outer coat which I had thrown off in entering the room, purposing to say no more. I was surprised to see the child standing patiently by, with a cloak upon her arm, and in her hand a hat and stick. "Those are not mine, my dear," said I. "No," returned the child quietly, "they are grandfather's. But he is not going out tonight?" "Oh yes, he is," said the child with a smile. "And what becomes of you, my pretty one?" "Me? I stay here, of course. I always do." I looked in astonishment towards the old man, but he was, or feigned to be, busied in the arrangement of his dress. From him I looked back to the slight gentle figure of the child, alone in that gloomy place all the long dreary night. Okay, so we've almost finished the chapter now. We have about we have basically 4 more pages to go. So I'll see you next time. Please come back. Please come back for more. Please subscribe to us. No, you don't have to if you don't want to. But anyway, bye!